All right, Mr. Lucian with the solution.
All right, brother. Well, good evening, everyone. Brother, Mr. McCabe, thank you for a great presentation. I think what happened was you exhausted my computer, and that's why it shut down, man. You did it again, man. You did it again. That's phenomenal, man. I appreciate you, man. That's awesome. Awesome presentation. Well, guys, welcome to our Thursday evening Empower Call, uh, where we empower you with the right tools, the right information, the right inspiration to help give you motivation to help you become a successful Karatbars International affiliate. Guys, I'm Lucian with a solution, and we know that Karatbars International is the solution to our financial freedom. We welcome everyone to the call. If you are on the call for the first time tonight, we especially welcome you and congratulate you for getting plugged into a system that will help you create more than what you can ever even imagine. And I want you to dream, like Mr. Best says, dream big, but dream bigger. And so you are getting plugged in the right way, and that is by or getting your opportunity to start off the right way, and that is by plugging in to this system. If you have not registered with anyone with Karatbars International yet, please get back to the person that invited you to this webinar and get registered with them as soon as you can. It's free. It takes about 5 minutes to do so. And this is your opportunity to start building your wealth. We believe that you're at the right place at the right time with the right company, not at the right time, but ahead of time. All right. So guys, I want to first tell you, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't even play one on any TV series or anything, but Karatbars to me has the best money system on the planet. This is the only company that I know that forces you to become wealthy. Even if you don't want to work the compensation plan, if you just want to save your money, it creates wealth that that nothing else has ever done. There are other companies that can't even boast of what we boast of. Like Pastor Dive, I've heard him say that Karatbars, with everything that happens in Karatbars, every transaction helps you more than it does anybody else. It benefits you more than it does anybody else. And there is no other company that can boast that. So we believe that you are at the right place, right company with the right leadership at ahead of time. And just by simply opening your free gold account, your free gold savings account, and then decide how much you want to save, if it's weekly or bi-weekly or monthly or bi-monthly or monthly, whatever amount that you choose to set up to start saving, set aside. We call it in Wealth Builders, we call it pay yourself first. And we encourage you to pay yourself first, because if you don't pay yourself first, you won't pay yourself at all. We end up spending our money before we save it, and we get sidetracked. We want to pay all of our bills, we want to get everything done, and then we want to still have fun. Pay yourself first. Set that money aside. Set whatever amount that you can start with. If you can't do 10 to 15%, set aside 10 to 15% in gold. Start with 5% or 1% if that's all you can afford to do. Any amount you can afford to do, any amount, and so, but set it, forget it, and go back to it later and add to it. And so all we do is help people and help you to learn, change your spending habits into saving habits. All right. And the past few weeks, 2.5 months, whatever, we have been forced to save our money. In a sense, we have been forced to change our spending habits to savings habits. Okay. Now I know a lot of people, a lot of people's income has been changed, has been altered. Either don't have an income, or it's been altered by 10, 15, or 20%. But if you think about it, you haven't been traveling, so that's cut your expense out. You haven't been doing all the entertainment that we normally do on Friday, Saturday night, and a Wednesday night, and a Monday, or whatever night, or Friday and Saturday and Sunday. We haven't had the overpriced restaurants to get to go to. A lot of St. Arbucks has been cut out, and so a lot of our spending habits have been forced to become savings habits. And so here's what I want you, now that we're coming out of this, now that we're gradually, we're doing the graduated opening up of different states and cities and counties. They're opening up in different ways. But here's the thing I want you to think about, and I want you to look at the past 2.5 months. We've learned to entertain ourselves in different ways. We've been able to stay at home on a Friday night and a Saturday night and enjoy our families. We've learned how to entertain ourselves at home and not going out and getting the extra, spending the extra money, the run over that we might have. We've always had this mindset is that we have to spend all that we make. We don't have to spend all that we make. That's been proven this past 2.5 months. And so change your spending habits into savings habits. Okay. So cut back. We've cut back. So everything's, as things start to open up. Yeah, I want to go spend some money. I want to, but it's not going to have to be an every night thing. You don't have to be a Friday night and a Saturday night. Go Saturday night, to a movie and a dinner and spend $150, $200 just on a movie and a dinner for one night. And then then we're going to go cheap on Sunday because we're going to do pizza on Sunday. We're going to do it cheap. You pay $25, $30 for a pizza that you could have bought at Kroger for about $7 or $8. So continue with this savings that we've been doing and start saving it in 24 karat gold bullion from Karatbars International. And it's going to help you build your wealth and protect any of your wealth. Okay. So I want you to take advantage of our ecosystem that we have to make money moves in your direction, at your address. Don't worry about the economy around the world. Worry about the economy at your address only, and start make changes for you and your family just by the ecosystem that we have. And what I mean by that, when you register your free gold savings account and you share it with people, what you're doing and how you're saving and what you're saving in 24 karat gold bullion, you get paid a little bit of a little referral fee one time a month. So you're going to make, just by opening your free account. No, you're not obligated to do anything else. Open your free account, set up however much you want to start saving, weekly or monthly or bi-monthly, however you want to save it, however much you want to save, and then share it with others, just like your local bank. If you go to your local bank right now, that you put your hard-earned depreciating dollars in, if you went to them right now and you said, hey, I got my brother-in-law that wants to open up a checking account, but he's trying to go to the bank next door over here. If I can give him over here, can you give me some money? They'll put $100, maybe $200 into your account. And so if they open up a checking account with them, and they're going to do it one time, they're going to pay you one time. And then if your brother-in-law refers his mother-in-law to come into that into that bank, you ain't gonna get a residual from him referring that. With Karatbars, you're gonna get residuals from everybody referring, from everybody referring, from everybody referring. Okay, so that's one way to make make some extra money just by opening your free account. But if you really want an extra income, or you want a full-time income, you got to buy purchase a business package that is suited to your current financial situation. We've got multiple packages that are suited. Anybody can afford one of these, at least one of these packages, to help get you started creating and building a residual income. Okay. And so that when you share this, when you share the same opportunity that you're going to do for free, if you spend a little money, you're going to get paid a residual income weekly. And I mean, weekly, weekly, that you're going to get paid every Friday for the work that you've done the previous week. And then you're going to get paid an extra one time a month, or you're on a unilevel payout. Okay. For everything, for all the gold, for everything that's done under, you're going to get paid extra. You're going to get paid 5-6 times a month. All right. But I want you to realize, when you purchase these packages, you're not just giving money to Karatbars. You're purchasing a tool bag, a toolbox. You're purchasing your tools, just like you would if you went in business, if you opened up a business of any kind that's going to cost you, I don't care what business you start right now today. You're going to spend a minimum at just any kind of business, you're going to spend a minimum $50,000 just to get a door opened up somewhere. You're going to spend $100,000, $200,000 to open a business. With Karatbars International, you can start with a very minimal amount that's going to give you the tools. You're going to get an education. And the best thing about Karatbars that I liked the most when I was first introduced to Karatbars, that was a big plus for me, was the accounting department that's accessible 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. My accounting with Karatbars is done for me automatic. Everything that is done, I get to see it when it's done. Every time I swipe my debit card, I get to see it when it's done. Every time money is put onto my MasterCard, I get to see it when it's done. Every time, everything that is done, everything that is generated under me, I get to see it with my accounting department, and I don't have to fill out paperwork. I don't have that extra overhead that I'm paying my accountant, to take care of it. It's done, it's paid for. And so you're buying your supplies, you're buying your overhead with a one-time purchase. We call it one and done. You purchase it, it's one and done. And so you buy the tools, you buy the education, you buy your accounting department, and then you go to work. And your overhead, your biggest overhead is going to be this right here. That's your overhead, is your cell phone. That's going to be your overhead. Guys, that is it. I mean, that's your overhead. Any other business? I own a landscaping business here in the middle Tennessee area. I love what I do, but I have monthly overhead. I have to do a certain amount of work for my accountant. I have to turn paperwork into my accountant, which reminds me, I didn't turn my paperwork into my accountant tonight. So I got to get off here. No, I'm not. But I have to turn in paperwork every week to my accountant to get my payroll done. And so, but with Karatbars, my overhead is done. I've already paid my overhead. It's done. And then any overhead that I do get that incurs, I get to write it off on my taxes. My product, me saving my money in 24 karat gold is a write-off. I get things written off that I never even thought that I would get to write off. Having a home-based business. Check with your accountant, check with your tax professional. You'll find out that you have more ways to write more money off of what you spend in opening a business and in getting a business package than what you'll spend on it. You'll have more write-offs than what you will spend on it. All right. So, and then get this. It's not mandatory that you do the work. If you don't want to do the compensation plan, don't do it. It's not mandatory. If you don't want to refer anybody to it, don't do it. It's not mandatory. Save what you want to save if that's what you want to do. Nothing is mandatory. But here's a kicker that I liked as well. And I've done other opportunities, networking companies. And they can't compare to this. Karatbars is one and done. If you join Karatbars and you get a business package, I don't care what package you get, and you go 6 months, a year, 2 years, and you don't do anything, you don't want to do anything, you've got tied up, life changed for you, right? Tomorrow morning after you purchased your package tonight, and tomorrow morning it changed on you, your situation changed, and you couldn't work Karatbars for the next year or 2 years. Guess what? You come back to the opportunity a year from now, 2 years, 5 years from now, you're in the same place that you were today. You're going to be in the same place. Your package is already bought and paid for. You will not have to renew anything. You're not bumped out. Nobody got above you. You didn't lose your position. You are where you start right now today if you do anything for the next 6 months or 6 years. I've been with other companies that if I didn't do a certain amount, I lost my position. I didn't get to stay, at the level that I'd slide out. I'd get bumped out. And then if I didn't do anything for a month, I had a certain renewal amount to renew just to get started. And so we're different from any other company out there. It's a one and done. You pay it one time, you're done for life. Okay. And then Karatbars, Dr. Seitz forces us to become wealthy. And so when I say you're at the right place at the right time or right place ahead of time, we are literally at the right place ahead of time. And and here's the other thing, our research was already done for us. You know, when my best friend, Dr. Tim Adair, introduced this to me, I didn't ask. I didn't ask, you know, I didn't say, well, let me go. I'm going to research. I'm going to go on Google and I'm going to do some research because first of all, I trusted my brother. I trusted him that he, you know, when he told me, he said, I'm doing this thing. Dr. Tim, he's got a great clientele and he couldn't risk having his name damaged in something that was not good and not legitimate. Okay. He's one of the top 25 doctors in the state of Tennessee. So he couldn't risk that, you know, losing what he had. All right. So he had already done some research for me and his sponsor had already done some research. His sponsor was a financial advisor that his team of attorneys had to do some research. They had to do research. His compliance officers had to research, and they did weeks of research in Karatbars to make sure that it was good and legitimate. But here's the other thing: FedEx does our shipping for us. I'm quite certain that their legal team had to do some research to make sure that Karatbars was a great company, and I'm quite certain that they probably had a little better search engine than Google. All right, and so, but not only that, then Mastercard, you know, we put our money on Mastercard backs. I'm sure their legal team had to research the company. Guys, we're in over 140 countries. I think 148 countries now. That these countries did research, or we had to research the legalities in each country to make sure that we could do business there. And the governments had to do their research to make sure that we're good, that they're going to let us do business in their countries. Okay. All right. So our research is done. These attorneys, these teams of legal teams, they do far better research than Google Chrome or Safari or any of the research that we can do on our computers. I know we think that our computers and that the Google research is going to tell us and it's going to be all truth. You know, if it was on the internet, it's got to be true. You know, but so our research has been done. We've got 1 million affiliates that have already researched Karatbars that are happy and proud to be Karatbars International affiliates. Okay, so compliance officers, legal teams, everything they've done, they've gone through us with a fine tooth comb. And so I want to tell you something. If you've been searching for something right now to make an extra income or need an income, period. If you've been searching, if you've been thinking about a better way, if you've been praying about it, I want to tell you, you're home. You're home, and I really mean that you're home. And what I mean by home, you know, when you talk about home, you're talking about family. And Karatbars International is one great big family. Wealth Builders Worldwide is one great big happy family. And I want to tell you something. If you don't believe me, get to the Let's Go weekend coming up this fall. Get to that weekend, get to that event, get to any event that's going on around the country. We've got events going on all over the place, all around the country, around the world. That events are going on. Get to one of these events somewhere. You'll see what we talk about when we're talking about family. You'll see what we mean when we are talking about, when we are saying that we're family. All right. And so get plugged in, and you're here for a purpose right now. I believe that you're not here by mistake. Obviously you're not here by mistake. You just didn't turn the computer on, it popped up and you were here. Somebody invited you. You've been searching, you've been looking, you've been thinking about it, you've been praying about it. I believe that you're here by divine appointment. And so get focused on your intent of what you want and what this can do and what Karatbars can do for you and for your family. Guys, this will build and change your financial legacy and your financial future. All right. Talking about your intent brings me, I guess, brings me to my confession, and so I need Father Dalco. Are you with us? I got to make a confession, brother Dalco. Are you available?
I'm here, my son.
All right. Father Dalco, I gotta confess. Since I started with Karatbars 5.5, almost 6 years ago, I've never deviated from Karatbars. I have been shown shiny objects all along the way. I've had people to approach me and go, "Ooh, this is what you need. This will fit in with Karatbars." And while I may have, I may have peeked over there at it, I was reminded, I stayed focused. I came back and I would come back. And and here's part of what I want to say. There's a lot of people that bounce from one thing to the other. They'll bounce around. They'll go over to this one. There's this shiny thing over here. They'll go over to this one. And pretty soon they don't make it in anything because they're jumping from one thing, and people will stop following when you can't stay focused. I'll tell you something. If you can't make it and be successful in Karatbars, you can't be successful in anything. I mean, I don't mean to sound, arrogant or anything, but it's just it. Karatbars has been the easiest, simplest thing that I've ever done in my life to make money. And I'm almost embarrassed for the amount of money that I make for the amount of work that I do. I'm almost, but I'm not going, and I'm not ashamed of it at all. I love it. And so Father Dalco, along the way, people have showed me shiny things, and then, but not along, I may have slid off here to the side, one side or the other, but I stayed on the right road. I stayed on the right path. But then there'd be people along the way that would show me a video of this, of somebody doing Karatbars presentation. They'll look, "Hey, watch this." And I'll watch it, man. And I'll start watching it. And it's like, "Oh, I like that." And then you know what happens when one video goes off, a next one comes up. And it's like, oh, I like that. I want that. That's what we need. That's what we need. And so, pretty soon I lose focus, and it's like, "Oh, I want this. Oh, I want that one. I want this video. Oh, I want this guy. I like this presentation." And I've been sidetracked, and I have asked for, videos to be done or whatever. And so, Father Dalco, forgive me. I strayed from Wealth Builders Worldwide. But brother, every time that I did, when I come back to the videos, when I come back, and when I say I strayed, I didn't go off anywhere else. When I got started with Karatbars, I wasn't connected with Wealth Builders. Didn't know how. We kind of bumped around and had to do a few things on our own. We had to figure out, which was an education in itself, to figure out and find out that this was the best way. And when we got plugged in with Wealth Builders Worldwide, it changed the dynamics of our teams. It changed the dynamics of our company. And so anytime that I've been showed videos, and I've kind of slid to this side a little bit, I lose that focus just a tad, and then I come back. I see and realize everything we need is in the Wealth Builders Worldwide website that you, Mr. Williams, Mr. Best, all are the forefathers of this, the builders of this phenomenal system. Guys, this is the system that is proven. Mr. Dalco, what do you have? Well, 2,000 or 3,000 people?
So you are forgiven, my son. And
yes.
This is what you have to do, though. This is your penance that you have to pay.
All right.
You have to do 10, you have to do 10 goldrocks.infos and 20 therealmoney.infos. Okay, you have to say 20 therealmoney.infos and 10 goldrocks.infos. Okay, stay on the straight and narrow. All right. All right.
Yes, Father.
So look,
man, I'm not even Catholic.
Here's the thing. I don't know. But here's the thing. crazy, man. Well, here's the
I
thing,
can sing
Lucian.
part of Ave Maria.
I can't sing tonight. I'm hoarse. I've been talking all day. But here's the beauty of it. I get why you strayed, because there's so much compelling information out there about our company. When the light comes on about Karatbars, it's like, okay, I don't even know if I can finish the thought. I'm so overwhelmed with the way you open this call up. Thank you. Look, guys, no shade, none. I mean it. I am a Robert Kiyosaki fanatic. I consume all of his teachings. It's fantastic. And in the great anticipation and build up to get on today's calls, it was good as usual. I would have rather just been on tonight's Empower Call. I would rather listen to Charlene. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Robert Kiyosaki, but the knowledge I've gained through Charlene and
Education.
Tammy and Boomer, the knowledge, I mean, you talk about your bet, you talk about fake, the fake teachers. When I started hearing Boomer, I was like, my God, guys, we're listening to the iconic Mr. Robert Kiyosaki. And he says on a global Zoom, do you know why President Trump doesn't want to show his financial records? Because he doesn't pay any taxes. And he said, and I don't either. And he said, and I said to myself, why won't governments just teach the people how to do it? Teach us how to do it. Like, you don't have to hide it. You didn't pay taxes? Great. Go ahead and tell the rest of the world that it's voluntary compliance. Why do governments and schools and churches and teachers and parents hide the truth as if it's going to just devastate us? Wouldn't you want to know how to legally not pay taxes? President Trump literally said in the debates with Hillary Clinton, she says, well, he doesn't pay any taxes to help the military and this and that. He says, that makes me smart. And the man started going like he was crazy. He wasn't crazy. He was telling the truth. That makes him smart. He understands the tax code. And Wealth Builders Worldwide, Boomer, Tammy, Charlene, that's who my teachers were. They taught me. I was a mortgage banker. Sounds good, right? Sounds like I know about money, right? I knew about mortgages, debt. I didn't know about wealth. Oh man, one thing Robert Kiyosaki said today was really good for me. He said, riches is measured in dollars, but wealth is measured in time. Wealth says, can you live the rest of your life with the money you've got stored up in the investments and assets you have? That's wealth. If you just got a lot of money coming in and you make your money, you can buy what you want. That's rich. But what's your burn rate? Man, well, I was like, woo, that was strong. Like, how fast will you burn through your reserves? You could be rich, like you can afford anything, but what's your burn rate? Robert Kiyosaki's burn rate is the rest of his life. Robert Kiyosaki's burn rate is into his great-grandchildren's lives. That is wealth. That got
leaving a legacy.
That got me right there, Lucian. So man, I'm happy to be a part of this call tonight. You have absolutely crushed it. All I can do is get on here and scream and flail my arms like y'all know I do. But I'm just happy to be standing on the shoulders of giants like Miss Shirley Goldberg. So Mr. Lucian Minton, back to you, man. Great call.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Guys, when somebody tries to throw that shiny object at you, and there's a ton of different opportunities out there. Just like I said, Karatbars has been the easiest, simplest thing that I've ever done to make money, and it is fun. It's the most fun thing that I've ever done. We don't have to buy and sell products. That was the thing. That's the thing with these other companies. You got to buy and sell products. Our product is money. Our product is gold. All you do is save your money and help other people build their wealth just by saving gold. But when these other people try to bring these shiny objects to you to make you lose focus, ask them, is Miss Shirley Goldberg doing this? Is Mr. Dalco doing this? Is Mr. Best doing this? Is Mr. Williams doing this? I want you to ask Miss Tanisha Glaspie, is she doing this? I won't be a fly on the wall when when she gets asked that question. I won't be on a fly on the wall in that room there just to see her response. And I won't be high up on the wall somewhere because I won't be down there close because there's gonna be stuff happening. But ask yourself those questions. You know, are these people doing it? Are these other people doing it? Are, you know, who's doing it? And you know, why are you changing? Why are you doing? You know, stay focused on one thing. I want you to have a laser beam focus. I want you to be so focused with one thing, with one intent, and that is building your personal wealth. Don't deviate, guys. The wheel's already been invented. Stay with Karatbars. Stay with Wealth Builders Worldwide. Get plugged into that system. That is a phenomenal system. It's got it's got everything that you need. It's got all the tools that you need along that, you know, they're like add-on tools, snap-on tools with Karatbars. What you have in Karatbars, Wealth Builders Worldwide is just another addition to the Karatbars family that of tools that will help you be successful and help you become successful. All right. So just stay focused. Wheels already been invented. Don't go out and try to reinvent it. And so just stay with a proven system, and that's Wealth Builders Worldwide. And you know, just stay laser beam focused. All right. So with that, I want to, Miss Cheryl Ann, I know everybody in Karatbars knows who Miss Cheryl Ann is as well. Oh, look at you. Woohoo! Look at you. Yes. Oh, you can't give away Grandma Gold now, can you? You showed up. All right. Well, you look lovely as ever. So you have any good news you want to share with us tonight from Karatbars Corporate?
You know, no, I want to continue that conversation. Y'all
Cool.
you just touched on something that was, man, I could preach on that sermon that y'all just started. Because Michael, come back out here. We have to have a discussion. You guys, I want to see your pretty face, brother.
Two.
He may be eating dinner about right now. Who knows? May had to make a
He's
potty
working.
trip for a minute. But anyway, I want to continue that because, you know, Michael, great presentation, Lucian. Great subject
Thank
matter. You and Michael just lit a fire, in my opinion, because you know, we're not going to talk politics. I'm just not going to do it, right? But Michael brought up something about Robert Kiyosaki saying Trump didn't pay taxes, blah, blah, blah. And Trump said it's because he's smart. You know, gang, the beginnings of financial education is being an entrepreneur. You know, I don't think I understood money until I had bills. You know, I'm going to go back to you're 16. You know, when you start work, I don't think you understand the value of money until you go to work. And let me tell you, it expands when you own a business. It is like a major education of financial education and what you've got to do and how you've got to balance and how you got to toss. And, you know, I'm thankful for, I don't know if Mark Pyers is on this call tonight or not, but, you know, Mark has tried to give us legally as much as advice as he could, you know, over a long period of time. And I'm thankful for that because he has dropped some great nuggets for all of you entrepreneurs. The one thing I want to say is what I love about Karatbars is that each and every person listening to this call tonight, just because you join Karatbars makes you an entrepreneur. You
right.
are a business
Come on.
owner. You are an independent contractor that makes you a business owner. That opens up doors for you to take advantage of the tax code. And it's not about cheating the system. it's about give and take. And you know, BK, before Karatbars, y'all know that my husband and I own several fairly large businesses nationwide. And gang, it was a it was a challenge daily to manage something that large. Um, you know, making sure that each office was doing its own thing. I think there were 32 offices, Lucian, in 9 states.
Wow.
And a corporate, entity. We dealt with ADT, which their office was in Aurora, Colorado. So it was constantly on a plane back and forth to the call center there, all those different things, all different events that you had to go hobnob with. But the reason corporations, you see them host a lot of these events and stuff, those events, what they look like is they tell you all to come in, they free, they wine, they dine you and all this stuff. And that's a write-off. It is a write-off for them. They can spend money on things like that instead of paying it to Uncle Sam. When they hire employees, every time you hire an employee, it's almost like, most people don't realize this. If you have an employee and you have them on your payroll, and let's say that the government takes out between, federal income tax, and here in Tennessee, we don't have a state income tax, so forgive me. I don't do things like that. I bless y'all's heart, the ones that lives in states that have to pay a state income tax. Tennessee is a great place to live. We love it here. But we do not believe in state income tax here. But anyway, federal tax, between federal tax, Social Security, Medicare, all that stuff that they take out of your paycheck each and every week. How many of you realize that what you pay, your employer has to match? How many y'all take that in there if y'all realize that? If Lucian was my employee and the government took out $400 this week in taxes and everything from him, Cheryl has to pay another $400. Okay, so nobody gets off scot-free, but true entrepreneurs will build big companies and they'll employ a lot of people. Yes, they're going to get a tax break maybe on their land taxes, the taxes at the land zone. They may get a break here or there. They're not getting a break over here on these employee matching taxes. Right. Nobody gets to do that. But, my sister-in-law has just a small business. It was my brother's business that he took over a portion of my father's business that my father had built, my entire life, I guess. My dad's been an entrepreneur. And as my brother got older, he took a portion of the business. Say hi to Petey. And my guard dog. But he took over a portion of the business. And he grew that portion of it and expanded that business. And when he passed away, my sister-in-law still has that business. And she finds herself in a predicament that, my dad's 90 years old. And of course, part of that business came from him. Each and every month, she sends him $1,500. It's not necessarily out of the goodness of her own heart. She does it because if she don't, she's got to turn around and give it to Uncle Sam. Well, and here's my thinking. I don't like a lot of the things Uncle Sam spends my money on. I have some real strong opinions on various topics and may not ought to get in them here, but who knows? Y'all probably heard it before. But our money, our tax money is a drug. It's a drug for governments. You are not doing yourself any favor if you don't learn the tax code and put yourself in the same position as the Robert Kiyosaki's, the Donald Trumps, or whoever. You need to learn, because you have options as an entrepreneur to either you redirect those funds. I would rather any day give Lucian, pay $400 matching taxes on Lucian. I would rather do that any day and still, but what I pay you this year, I get to write all of that off, Lucian.
Exactly.
So yeah, I may get the
Exactly.
tax part of it, but everything I paid you, I get to write off. So
Yes.
it's learning that tax code and learning, y'all have made the first step. And you are an entrepreneur. I want you to own that. I want you to own that. I see people talk about Karatbars and they're always looking about, okay, I'm going over. I am going over here. Y'all gonna be mad at me, but I'm gonna go over it. My sponsor quit. I'm an orphan. I don't have any help. I don't do this. Well, nobody will do this for me, and I don't have anybody to do that for me, and I don't get the information. Gang, let's call it what it is. You ain't trying. You are not trying. There's plenty of information out there. When I hear somebody sit and tell me their sob story, I don't want to hear it, gang. I don't want to hear it anymore. There is zero excuse. If you're an entrepreneur, when I had my businesses, I couldn't call up Michael and say, well, Dodo did me wrong and stuff, and you go beat him up, Michael, because you're my baby brother and you got big muscles. So go beat him up and take Roger with you. And then while you at it, pick up Lucian. I can't go whine. When you're a business owner, the last thing you can do is whine. And there's one thing I learned being a business owner is you've got to, if you're going to be successful, you better learn this phrase. You need to become solution conscious, not problem conscious.
100.
And if you don't, go ahead and go back to 9 to 5. I'm sorry, Michael. I have crossed over, went over. Y'all started it tonight.
You deserve to do it. I'm over here screaming in my heart. How many problems did you guys have to overcome
I don't
before
even
we
want to
got
hear
the
it.
most recent ones?
I don't want to hear it. We found
Come on.
solutions, and that was the thing, Michael. We found solutions. The
You have
nodes aren't
to.
paid out. I have heard so many people rah, 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 about the nodes or rah, 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 about the gang. You're an entrepreneur. You call leaders and you call your teammates and you go to Facebook and you whine and I'm not saying y'all know if you're on this call, you're my golden group, right? But the whining and the wham, pick up the phone and call corporate. I am not your sounding board. I love you, but I am not a punching bag.
Ms.
You
Shirley,
know?
let me say one thing, and I want you to chime right back in. Okay, guys, we all adore. First of all, you're having a good hair night. My gosh, you better
All
wear
right.
that. Jace. Okay, so we're all a part of Charlene Gober's organization. When people don't join, they're also not joining Charlene's organization. When people don't get their phones on time, they're also not getting their phones on time in Charlene's organization. When problems happen within your group, KYC, payouts, it's still happening to Charlene. It's relative. You gotta take a 30,000 foot view of this thing. Stop looking like everything is the end of the world. Like, grow up. And these conversations, me and Mr. Ty Best had this conversation, Lucian, you and I were talking about it today. It's time to have some real serious, hard conversations. You're still thinking like an employee.
Right.
Like you get to work, the lights are on, your desk is clean, the janitorial staff came and cleaned vacuumed and emptied the garbage. You don't get to go to the board meetings and see the budget issues that they're having. The check is on your desk on Friday or in your deposit. You're an employee. Yeah, everything is going smooth. That's why you make a little bit of money. As an entrepreneur, you're a business owner. You get to see all the problems, and that's new to you. You've never done that before. You just go to work, flip on the lights come on. You've never been and flipped on the lights didn't come on. And you got to call the electricians and get them to fix whatever happened with the lights. You're an owner now. And so you got to anticipate and even expect challenges
Right.
and problems. Entrepreneurs
Right.
solve problems. When your organization, if you got 50 people on your team and they're complaining and whining, you have got to be the person to keep that calm. You don't have to call Charlene. Anyway, thank you for finally saying, Charlene.
Well, I don't mind people calling me. I love to hear from you. You know, I love my Karatbars family. And, you know, Lucian, you was talking about the vents. And I'll just go ahead and tell you, I hate COVID. Since I'm on a roll, I hate COVID because we can do these calls
Yeah.
and it's great. And I see these people in Ross Range. I love you, love you, love you. And kiss your mama for me because I can't. But
You know,
I miss
think,
my events to where I
yeah.
get to hug necks. And gang, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, Michael, the next time you do it in Atlanta, yeah, y'all can forget social distancing when it comes to me. Because I will have quarantine. I have quarantined enough, and I
You know
need
what?
some hugs. I
And
need some real live hugs, some real squeezes. Screw this elbow stuff. I want
Right.
some squeezes. I'm sitting there looking at Patrice and Lisa's baby. I'm looking at Sherry Brown's little Nate, and I'm mad. I am mad. Why can't I go get in the car and go hug on, get me some of them sweet little baby snuggles?
Right.
Guys, I'm done. I'm done with the quarantine. I want some boomer hugs. And if you've ever been hugged by boomer, you know what I'm talking about. But I declared, go back, I declared this crap was over on Passover. And it
There you
was,
go.
gang. Go back and look at the numbers. They
Now,
went do, do, do. It was done. This is the remnants of it. Pentecost, gang, it's a new thing.
there you go.
Reset. I don't know if y'all listen to a lot of the prophetic ministers that we're blessed to have all around the world, really. But I have really, really been digging in there. You know, I've studied a lot of gold. You know, I came into Karatbars as a spiritual journey. Y'all know that. And God is pulling me back. He's trying to say something here, Michael. This whole thing is he's trying to tell us something. Number one, he didn't give us a spirit of fear. So that's what I'm saying. This social distancing, Michael Dalco, I see you. You might as well start running because I'm going to down you right in the street. I'm all over you. You know, look like I don't know what we're going to look like, but I'll have you down. I'm going to hug your neck no matter what. And yours too. I'm sick of this.
I think a
It
lot of people are. I
separates
think a
us.
lot of people are ready. But I think this has been an eye opener for a lot of people to uh,
Don't take them hugs for
we had
granted.
it good. We had it good, and I think we did. I think we took advantage of it. Or maybe not didn't take advantage of it, took it for granted. I think we took it for granted, and I think people are so over it. I think people are realizing what we had, and so many people are missing it. Yeah, I think it's a great time now to get back to I want a hug. I miss those hugs too.
Come hug you. I'm done with it. I
I'm
am
ready for a
done.
good hug from
If
you.
I trust God in the big things, I got to trust him in the little things, right?
That's right. And
I
he's
have
got us
no
protected.
fear.
He's got us covered. It ain't gonna matter how protected we are. If he wants us to get COVID-19, we gonna get it. No matter if we sitting in the corner of our room by ourselves all day, every day. If
Right.
he wants us to get it and die, we're gonna get it something and die somehow or another.
Well, since we serve a miracle working God, I'm sure he can heal me too, right? I mean, y'all,
Absolutely,
sorry, y'all
100%.
got stuck with a Pentecostal here, but I believe in divine healing, but it's not that I miss my hugs. I miss my family. I miss
Yeah.
the events. And this is all fine. And I wish I could read all these comments as they run by. Sometimes I try to go back and grab them. But, I guess, I didn't know what I was going to say tonight. And y'all just spurred something up inside of me.
Good.
I mean, an hour ago, my hair was a mess. I was in my jammies. My head was hurting. I've been working on a migraine all day long.
Oh no.
And I'm sitting there
Well,
going,
you
I'm
look
gonna give
beautiful
away a
as
gram of
usual.
gold tonight. And then my daughter, you know, Brittany's been moving today. We're losing another 30-something-year-old for a period of time. Who knows? They always come back. So I got another bedroom that's empty, Sherry Brown. I know you're out there listening. It's the big one. I know, the one you like and stuff. But Petey can't get up there, so that's you know, you'll love that room. But so, you know, Michael, seriously, gang, if I leave you with anything, be a real entrepreneur. If you got a little leak in the bathroom toilet, you know, fix it. Be the solution, right? You know, always lead with integrity. Don't BS people, don't hype people, don't. There is nothing wrong with being honest, you know. We live in the land of instant right here in the United States, and we want everything yesterday.
Right.
The hardest thing ever for me working with Harold is learning how to be patient. As a business owner, I used to have a secretary, we called her Radar. I would literally walk in the office and say, I won't. And she said, and she would just hand it to me. And I'm like, how did you know I wanted that? And she said, I just did. I mean, seriously, this was
That's
every
awesome.
day. We called her Radar, because it was weird how she instinctively
That's
knew
awesome.
what I wanted and
Those are good
what
to
I would
have.
want it, and it was already done. It was
Those are good to
amazing.
have.
It was
They're
awesome.
few and far between.
Oh, they are. They are. I've had two of those. And but it was, you know, it was pretty awesome to have that. But when I started working with Harold and I learned German time, I mean, come on, I'm gonna be real. I'm being honest tonight. I
In
said,
2
Harold,
weeks.
y'all are driving me crazy. I said, y'all got 54. We have, what is it, 6 federal vacations or holidays per year. I think it's 6. There's Christmas, New Year's Day, Memorial Day, Labor Day, Veterans Day, and Martin Luther King Day. I think that's it, federal
July.
holidays, right?
July 4th. July
Easter's on a
4th.
Sunday,
Yeah.
so they get out of that. Mother's Day's on a Sunday, Father's Day, you
July,
know, so
July 4th.
six paid. Okay. Well, maybe there's 8. It's either 6 or 8. But anyway,
Yeah.
whatever it is, we get 6 or 8 holidays, paid holidays per year, right? How about they get 54?
Woo.
Out of 365 days, 54 of them are paid holidays. These Europeans vacate. It drives me crazy still to this day. Like tomorrow, today is a German holiday. They had to shut down. You know, they've had COVID for 2 months and they come back to work for 3 days. And now then we got to shut down because it's a holiday. My little simple blonde head don't get that. You know, it just don't happen. When they go on holiday, they go for a month, you know, but here's the fact. Statistically, they work 40% less than we do, yet they double our production
more
in the
production. I
time
knew
that they actually
Yeah.
work.
I
That
knew
is, they have fewer heart attacks, fewer, you know, they're healthier. There's not as much obesity. Oh, COVID's ugly when it comes to eating. You know, how many of y'all needed the mask, these little masks? This is my granddaughter's. But how many of these did we need for the full 2 months to keep from eating? You know, that's what the mask is for. Because Britt Gober, Lord have mercy. Y'all need to come stay for a weekend and watch him. And y'all know what I deal with.
Nothing to do but eat.
The man eats from the time he gets up to the time he goes to bed. And I'm talking little candy bars and popcorn. And I mean, it's just, he's like a 10-year-old. Pizza, you know, he's got to have sun drops. You know, he's just Britt, you know. I sit there and he just sprinkles the calories off on me as he walks by. But I don't want to get into all that. But I'm just telling you, I want y'all to take ownership of your business and stuff. That was such a great conversation the two of you had tonight. It's about taking ownership and responsibility
It
for
is.
your own business, because guys, you're not going to get free until you get that through your head. You know, freedom is not looking for somebody else for an answer. Freedom is finding the answer for yourself. Ugh, that stings a little bit. I'm here. I love you. Tammy loves you. We all love you. But I do, you know, I look at some of the most fabulous leaders in the world. You know, I mean, I look at probably Michael and Nitsa are the probably most visible from the council, the Karatbars Corporate Council that's on social media. And they're visible. They're all over the place. Michael cannot let go of that. He knows he's pretty, so he can get on that camera all day long. He don't have to do his hair. He don't have to put no lipstick on. He's just pretty. But he lives on that camera, you know. And it amazes me how 10 times a day Michael can find a subject to talk about and go off
I
on.
know.
And guys,
Right.
these are your leaders. I'm telling you, I did not do the Robert Kiyosaki thing today. I like Robert Kiyosaki. I like a lot of those teachers. You know, I didn't want his email that's going to be, you know, I get enough emails and stuff. And I know people trying to sell me stuff, and that's what he does too. I can listen to him for free on YouTube, and I don't have to join his mailing list. But anyway, that's just me. Michael, I love you. And, you know, I just want those listening, take ownership, be solution conscious, be a problem solver, you know, problem destroyer. You know, even Harold will always say there's no such thing as a problem. It's a solution waiting for an
There you go.
answer.
There you go.
You know, and that's really true. But take ownership of your business. You know, how many of you know where to find the corporate phone number if you ever wanted to pick up the phone and call them? Do you know how many times I've answered that in the last 10 years? Seriously. Y'all take a wild guess how many times that's been asked. Where's the corporate phone number?
4,000. 4,000.
It's here. I'm gonna say it out loud so y'all can press it and tell everybody. The corporate phone number. Go to your homepage on Karatbars, scroll all the way to the bottom, and click Imprint, and voila, there it is. It used to be at the top, and it said Support FAQ. Nobody ever clicked it. You know,
They always called you.
How do I get them? And I'm like, you ever looked at the website? That's a scary thought. This is your business and you've not read the website.
That was one of the best things that and I've been a bit pretty much all my life. You know, I've done a lot of different things, but one of the best things that Tammy Morrison helped me with was, of course, when I first got started, you know, she helped me. You know, she would answer some of my questions, but I got to a point that she said, "Did you look in your back office?" And that helped me, because when she was giving me the answer, you know, I was not always remembering it, but when I started looking it up, I knew where to help my team. Then I knew how. So guys, look in your back office every day. Look in all the information that you want, all the you know, 99.9% of the answers to your questions are in your back office somewhere, or on the Wealth Builders website. Look before you call, try to find everything. You know, that was one of the best things that Tammy helped me with, was when she said, "Did you look in it? Why don't you go to your back office? I'm going to tell you where to go to your back office." You know, she did do that one time for me. And then from then on, it clicked with me that, you know, this is mine. I need to educate myself on it. I need to see it. And so that was one of the best things that helped me, was when I started looking for the answers myself. And I think that's what we need. We got to learn how to do that. We need to learn. We as an entrepreneur, everyone needs to be learning to do that. Learn that, like you said, be solution oriented. Figure out how to, when somebody calls you, because you're gonna have we're all gonna have new people that's gonna call up and say, hey, I can't, I can't do this, or I can't do that. What about this? What about that? Find the answer. Find the answer for your team. Be the leader. Me and Mr. Dalco were talking earlier today. Be the leader that you want your leader to be, and that you want to be following. Be the leader that you expect your leader to be, and your team. It'll change your look. It'll change your view of how it is.
Well, this, I'm gonna tell you a funny here, because for many years people, type us, call us, how do you know the answer, blah blah blah, and they'd be thanking us for the answer, and you're so smart, and how did you learn all of this? And I'm sitting there going, I typed it in Google, and I come up with all kinds of stuff. So Tammy and I used to laugh that we're really not smart, but real fast typers on Google, so we can type. It's amazing what you can find out on Google, but a lot of, how many grams of gold are there, how many ounces of gold are there in the world that's been mined? It's all right there on the internet. Yeah, no, all of them haven't been got. But if you put all the gold in that's ever been mined since the beginning of time in one space, how much space would that take up? How many times did I tell y'all to Google the definition of 1 trillion? How long 1 trillion seconds from now is? When we're talking about the debt clock. And y'all, they never gonna pay it back. They just making up numbers, gang. It's just numbers. It's just zeros to them. Get smart, learn the tax code, take full responsibility, and for your business, know where things are at. No, and let me not shut up before I say this. As family members of Karatbars, we will always be here to lift each other up. Period.
Yeah.
Sometimes I watched the corporate meeting the other day that should be on the corporate YouTube channel tomorrow. If y'all didn't see it, try to watch it. And but the energy, I talked to several people yesterday that said a lot wasn't said, but I'm feeding off the energy and I've done that for 10 years. I feed off of Harold's energy. I know him like a book, and I can tell by the energy and the way he's talking and maneuvering, and the faster he talks, the more excited he is, and the more secrets he tells. It's bombshell, it's the energy that I'm getting from him. It's not, Michael will tell you, we don't know everything. They've closed us out on everything. So Nitsa, Michael, all the council members that y'all think have inside knowledge, we do not. Nobody does. It's there. We are out there moving forward because of the energy. Something's up, something's up, and it looks good. I'm feeling it, but I know Harold, and it's just that energy. And I think sometimes if we listen to our gut more in business than we try to throw our silly wisdom out there, what we think is wisdom out there and what we think it ought to be. And that, guys, let me tell you what, business is not what I guarantee you, I thought I was going to grow up and be a princess and marry a prince, right? That didn't happen in the real world. I've got my first one wasn't no fun. I had to wait around for God to make up for all that ugly, But sometimes, you have children and you expect them to be the head cheerleader or the big football player or the #1 basketball player, and they end up being an artist, or they hate music, and You know, Michael, I'm curious how many of your kids don't like music, because none of mine. My granddaughter is finally coming in, but I've skipped a whole generation of kids that they piddled with it. They didn't do nothing with it. But you know, sometimes life don't turn out like what what you think it is when you're in the real world. You know, you maneuver, you plan B. Plan B happens a lot of times in business and stuff. You step back and punt. No matter what life throws at you, you step back and punt with a smile on your face. My cheerleading coach used to tell us, no matter what was good, if we were losing or whatever, put your hands on your hips and smile real big. It solves all the problems in the world. Put a smile on and everything else just works out. But anyway, I'm done. Love y'all. Where's Ty Best is
Look,
here?
I know that's what I wanted.
Legend.
I was going to throw over to him. Miss Shirley, thank you so much for your words of wisdom and encouragement. Always, everything that you always do, everything that you always bring is phenomenal. And so guys, I want to, you know, we talk about being focused and staying focused on one thing. Quit letting shiny objects, you know, pull you away from one thing to another. And there's no one better that can tell us that and share with us better how to stay focused on one thing. As Mr. Ty Best. Mr. Best, are you with us? Are you available?
Yeah, I'm right here.
All right.
Well, how you doing, sir?
I'm great, brother. Man, if I was any better, my name would be Tyrone Best.
Look, I'm telling you, look, guys, great call this evening. Thank you, Miss Shirley and Gober, of course, always for blessing us with your presence. But let me tell you, I only had two things I want to say. I love the idea of saying to folks, take responsibility as an entrepreneur. That's a big step because most of us come into the business thinking like an employee. So that's a graduated step. We have to get to that place where we understand taking full responsibility. So the thing I wanted to add was, what's your responsibility? Well, the first thing is to produce income within Karatbars. That's your responsibility. It's not your uplines, not your downlines. It's your responsibility to build your team, produce income, and lead that team. Everything else is a Karatbars problem. The phone being delivered, that's not my problem. That's a Dr. Harold Sykes problem. Karatbars International problem. You follow me? If there is such a problem. I don't think there is a problem. In fact, look, I keep getting phones coming up, phones coming all the time. You follow me? So I don't know what people are talking about. I haven't, as far as I'm concerned, we haven't had a problem in the 6 years I've been in Karatbars, because the two primary things Karatbars has done like clockwork is pay every Friday or pay early like this week on Wednesday.
Yes.
And ship out the products in a timely manner. And we've gotten everything that Dr. Harold Sykes has promised in a timely manner. So every other situation, that's Dr. Harold Sykes worrying about it 7 days a week, not us. I've been CEO. I don't want Dr. Harold Sykes' job ever again. Okay?
Amen.
I don't want it. And so I'm telling you, all we have to do is build our team. And when we want to shut it down mentally, all we have to do is put the phone down and go take a nap or go to sleep. Okay? So this is the simplest thing you will ever do in your lifetime to build wealth. And then I'll leave with a thought I read last night. It said, wealth is a delayed gratification program, and debt is an instant gratification program. When you can wrap your mind around just those two thoughts, and you have this cell phone, as Robert Kiyosaki said today, and Karatbars International, wealth is inevitable. Folks, dream big. Great call today. Thank you guys very much. Thank you, Mr. Delco, for your energy too, as well. God bless, and ahoo.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Best. Mr. Dalco, would you come out for just a second? Are you with us there? Yeah. Hey, there's a saying that you said, and I can't ever get it right. It's I'm not who you think I am, and I think I'm not who you, whatever. How does that go? I've been trying to remember this.
Yeah. So one thing that's important for you guys to realize about me is I don't really have a lot of original thoughts or statements. I'm like a parrot. When you hear me talking, you're really hearing Ty Best in my voice. All right. So I learned that phrase from my mentor, Ty Best, like 95% of everything else I ever say. But I am not.
It's great leaders.
Exactly. Nothing wrong with being a copycat, right? As long as you
That's
copy.
right. That's right.
I am not who I think I am. I am not who you think I am. I am who I think you think I am. Right? My thoughts about what you're thinking about me is what shades and shapes my personality and my self-image. I think Lucian thinks I'm not that good of a leader. So then I put on that mantra. Stop thinking about what you think other people think about you.
Ooh,
Most
come
people
on.
aren't thinking about you at all.
There you go. There you go. I love it. Okay. I wondered how that went and how I can't ever get it right. All I want to be, I want to be who my dog thinks I am.
Hey, let me add one other piece to that, because the other piece to that is people will rise to our expectations. So think positive things
Yes.
about
Come
your
on.
team. This is why even on our power call, we constantly say next leader in queue. The person may have just got in, haven't enrolled anybody in 2 months, and we said next leader in queue. Why? We want to project on them what we want them
Yes.
to become. Okay, so we start to treat them like leaders, treat them like entrepreneurs. They start to rise up to our level of expectation, and that's that last statement says, "I am what I think you think I am." So if you think I'm a leader, if you think I'm great, if you think I'm a go directly leader, if you think I can be a millionaire, I'll start believing that, because you might be the only person in my life that's ever actually
Yes.
demonstrated in belief in me and what I want to do. And in many cases, folks, in this business, one of the reasons people stay in, because you may be the only person in their entire time on this planet that looked them eyeball to eyeball and said, "You can do this, and I'll help you."
Yes. Amen. Great words. Thank you, Mr. Best. Thank you. Well, guys, thank you for this call, Mr. Daco. Thank you, man. Enjoyed it. Thank you for all your encouragement always, Miss Cheryl Ann. Thank you always for all that you do and all that you encourage us, and just the wisdom that everybody brings to this call. I appreciate everybody on here. And guys, start looking at yourself differently. Start looking at yourself as the entrepreneur that you are designed and meant to be. If you had the courage to step out and to start Karatbars, you have the courage to become as successful as you want to be. If you had it in your mind at one time to be successful, if you had it in your heart to work at this, you've got it, and you can work at it and chip away at it every day. Everything that you do today has an effect on what it's going to be for you for tomorrow. So stay focused on your team. Stay focused in Wealth Builders Worldwide. Stay focused on Karatbars. Reach out to as many people as you can, as often as you can. You know, like Mr. Best says, anybody that's 98.6 degrees and breathing, reach out to them, talk to them about Karatbars and how you save your money a better way. And that's in 24 karat gold bullion by Karatbars International. Guys, we love you. Great call for everybody. I look forward to seeing you next week, next Thursday night. But get on the calls tomorrow morning, the power calls, any of the training calls that coming up on Sunday night, training calls. Miss Gillespie, could you pull that screen up there real quick for everybody? I know probably most everybody on the call has that information, but if you're new, this is what you need to have. Mr. McKay, did you have something you want to share with us?
Just that those that are here know that you are so close to your freedom. You know, just being on these calls and participating, you are so close to that, because you don't have to look back, you get to look forward. And being on part of this community and this platform is your pathway to freedom.
Amen. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Miss Tanisha, for pulling that up there. Guys, reach out to everybody that you can. Get them plugged into this system. It's a great system. It will change your life forever. It will change. It will set you free. Break that chain, break that rope that you think is tying you, that chain that you think's tied down, is all it is a piece of string. Snap it loose and break free. Guys, love you guys. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning on the power call. Have a good evening, everyone. Good night.
Let's make some history tonight.